What problem are you solving within much hyped area of artificial intelligence?
Thank you for having me. We're very excited to announce our launch out of stealth. We're building a platform by leveraging AI that streamline an end-to-end of all of the core workflow of the back office of CPAs at the moment, and later on financial services in general. Most of the problems that we focus on now is around capacity issues for CPA firms, where there are higher complexity of the tax code, 238 million tax returns done annually in the US, but at the same time, 300,000 accountants left the job in the last 2 years, and there are 16% less accountants than 2018. So they're facing very severe capacity issues, and they're giving up on revenue and other things that they went to school in order to study accounting to solve for. Instead of that, they're doing very manual work. So what we're doing is we're automating all of the pieces that could be automated by a machine, and right now are struggling to find the right talent for the capacity constraint.
Eyal, Founders Fund, Khosla, Andreessen, General Catalyst, that's like the who's who of VCs backing you, and you did it coming out of stealth. I don't understand. Like, how does it work? If you're in stealth, how do they even know about you? Or is it you kicking down doors and saying, we have something really big coming?
Hey, we do have something really big coming, but we do have existing relationship with most of those investors. In my previous company, some of them were already investors. So when I started to work on this problem, I reached out and we started discussions, and we didn't have to kick too many doors.
Talk to us about the technology. Are you a maker of foundation or large language models, or do you use the underlying technology of a third party to then make an AI tool that's relevant in the financial services space?
We do build proprietary technology that consists not just from LLM, but from a combination of machine learning, automation, vision. We do use third-party technology for the LLM. We made a strategic decision not to build the LLM model yet because it's extremely expensive. But with the pace of progress, we believe that in 2 years, it will be a fraction of the cost to build it ourselves. But 90% of the technology is not leveraging LLM.
Which LLM?
Proprietary technology. We're using the usual suspects, but it's relatively less than 10% of what we're actually offering as the end product today.
So tell us about your moat. Ultimately, how do you ensure that anyone who wants to be really making their accounting work, making the job of a CPA efficient, only comes to Blackore, not others that are building similar models?
That's the main reason why we were in stealth for so long. We spent 2 years building the architecture, building the pipes, building the actual plumbing of how we pull the data, how we train a model to recognize a document, what type of a document, classify it, automatically fetching the data from within the different documents. It could be handwritten, there could be a PDF, there could be a JPEG, and we put it in the right place in the tax software without requiring the CPA to change any workflow, any tax software they're using today. And eventually, the end product is a fully completed tax return ready for the CPA to review, as well as the work products that associate with that, like tie-out, binder, and so on. It does take more than AI to build that, a lot of internal understanding of the workflow and the processes. And we started relatively early on working with many different CPA firms and tax preparation firms to make sure that we understand the workflow end to end, even before it was cool to use the word AI. We automated very big pieces of that.
Eyal, you're a serial entrepreneur and founder. You've been on this program with a different name, Fundbox. I've written about Fundbox and its fundraising.
Yeah.
So you've got a pretty good lay of the land right now. How expensive is engineering talent? Like, I know you have a big chunk of cash now, but how far is it going to go in the talent space?
Engineers are still expensive. I think just like CPAs, you have when you want to focus on the very high caliber of talent, humans are still in high demand, hence very expensive. And especially when you start adding words like data science and AI, it makes them even more expensive. But the bottom line is that if you build the right team, you don't need to throw too much money on the problem. You don't want to hire before you have the product out there. And once you have the product, you need to be waitlist at Blackore. We're being very efficient, not just because of the burn, of the cash burn, but also an organization is becoming less efficient when you have too many people. That's something we would like to keep as long as possible.